things, you say since the show, she's become even more obsessed.
The biggest reason that I wanted to be here is because after the show last time, I feel like she's just gotten worse. The girls showed up at my door at about 9:30 at night with suitcases and their little scooters. And I opened the door and they were both crying and they said, "Mommy said, we can never come back here. We run away, we can never come back." And they brought all their stuff in and they said, "Miss Linda, if we stay in the bushes and someone stabs us, you'll come, right?" And I was like, "Of course I will come and I will never let you stay in the bushes." But they opened the suitcase and they had, seriously, a ton of clothes, but she actually packed food and water. And they said, "And we have top ramen and you don't even have to cook it. We can just smash it up and eat it." About an hour later, she sent a text down, said, "Do you have my girls?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Wasn't it nice of me to pack their suitcases? And I even gave them some of my jackets. And I gave them food. Was that nice?" And I was like, are you kidding me? They live on the 3rd floor, and they had a suitcase that was the size of a suitcase that we would have to check, and 2 scooters. And those 2 little girls carried all that stuff down 3 floors to come to my house. And we're like, "Can we just stay here with you?"
Did you send Sandra a text saying she was not a bad mother and she was not a whore?
No. Actually, when we left here that day, last time, when we got to the very end right there, she asked me, "Do you think I'm a really bad mother?" And I said, "I think that you need help." That's the only thing I've ever said to her about her mothering skills. And as far as her being a whore, actually what I said is, "I don't care who you sleep with. What I care about is that you don't do it when your children are home."
When we were talking to you about the show this time, you said she was listening.
I didn't say it. She told them. I was sitting on my couch, my window's open, I'm talking to the associate producer, and I'm on my cell phone, I have the speakerphone on, and while I'm talking to her, we've been talking about a half an hour maybe, she said, "Oh, can you hold on, the producer's calling?" I said, "Sure." And she came back and she said, "Sandra's on your patio listening to everything that we're saying." And I was like, "Really? Who would do that? That you would be sitting out on my patio is so creepy."
You're concerned that she's not feeding the children properly?
I'm concerned that she's not really basically doing anything properly with the children right now.
And you've offered food. You said, "I've got some extra food. I got too much. I prepared too much or did too much or whatever."
Whenever I get pizza or I take out, or if I buy a lot of groceries and you can see that you're not going to get to them before they spoil, I sent her a text. I sent her 3 texts and said, "I have extra food here if you and the girls want it." Every time she said yes, but she never came down and got it.
They would come to me sometimes and have her clothes on. There was a time where my younger daughter came, and it was an overnight, and she went to put on her pajamas, and when she does that, she puts the dirty clothes in the dirty clothes hamper that I have, and I make sure that I wash Sandra's clothes to send them back in so I know that they're clean, because otherwise they're not. And when she took her clothes off, I noticed that my younger daughter had on a pair of Sandra's underwear. They were probably 4, 5, 6 sizes way too big. They looked like a parachute, pretty much, on my daughter.
And she says that they all wear the same size.
Sandra claims that she wears the same size as my 7 and 9-year-old, and that they look the same.